Hey everybody, welcome to BSing with BS. And today I'm hoping that you're having a really adventurous day. So happy Adventure Day. So I'm here with my buddy Ryan, and we're both natives to the area, right? Whether we grew here or born here or we were transplanted here. How long you been on up here?
I have lived here for going on it's 42 years now, just across the border in Maine.
Yes. Yep.
And now we live in the same town.
Mm-hmm.
I live on Pig Street.
I do not live on Pig Street.
I love Pig Street.
Yeah, nice and easy.
Most people, well, historically growing up, the women of Pig Street hated the name Pig Street.
Yes,
they tried to change the name to Spring Street.
Spring Street is a completely different street, though.
I realized that. But, I mean, Pig Street just has so much more character. And
Yeah,
it's a lot more fun when people call you and ask for your address.
right. You say pig.
Yeah, and they're like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
So you have to spell it, and then they giggle, and then they apologize. But
So my husband the other day was asked. Now I grew up here, but then we moved away, and then I got back. We've been back for 22 years or something like that. But my husband was asked the other day, "Are you a local?" And he's like, I gotta say no. I gotta say no. He's like, I've been here 22 years, but I know that if you say that you're local and you're not really, you're gonna get chastised. You're gonna get the hairy eyeball from the real locals, the people who've been here since birth.
wow, my father always distinguishes it as two different types of people in the town of Brownfield.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you're either an outlaw or an implant. Um, I'm not an implant, but I can't necessarily say I'm an outlaw, or at least I do have my share of fun.
Right. Right.
But I think the primary distinguishing factor is when a person moves into the area, saying how much they love the quiet,
Yep.
and how you turn the lights off at night and you actually see the stars.
Right.
But then you've got the people who move up and immediately want to put in more street lights, or and actually I'm chuckling right now in my head because I remember when I came to visit your house and you have a street light in your driveway, but that wasn't your idea.
No, it wasn't. It was there when we bought the house.
So that's a bonus.
It is.
It wasn't the selling feature of the house.
No.
You guys weren't like, we need to have
Yes.
a spotlight in the driveway.
Right. Right. No,
So-
it was there, and it does its job. It's nice security, and thankfully it's hidden by some of the trees, so we can still see the lights and the stars and stuff when things are going. But it gets really dark out where we are. But isn't it interesting when we can drive up the road coming into like North Conway and you can see the aura of the lights? Anyways,
I do kind of like that,
Yeah.
especially the contrast from the country.
Right.
Because, I love where I live because on a clear night, I can go outside and see the stars.
Yep.
I look up and
it's gorgeous.
it is. It's so
Yep.
beautiful.
Yep.
But there's something welcoming about driving into the valley and seeing the lights, sort of like, it looks like a big warm blanket welcoming you. It's like, come here.
It does. It does.
But and I mean that in a very wholesome way.
Right. Right. I actually try to make sure the kids just recognize. It's like you don't need to recognize that you're very lucky to have that kind of ambiance and that atmosphere. Kids that live in the city, they miss that. They have to go out. When I traveled a lot, I would fly into like Portland, and not that Portland's a heavy metropolis, but it would be within 5 minutes I was out of the airport and I was driving in pitch black with my own music, which was wonderful to and the only thing I really had to worry about for traffic was like turkeys. And it was so nice to be able to get and just go, oh, it's so quiet and stuff. Except for the Freiburg Fair. When the Freiburg Fair comes in, that glow it's really cool.
It's a glow,
here
and
from
it's
everywhere.
The town of Freiburg smells like fried food
Yes.
for an entire week. And I love it, but I'm hungry the whole time.
Exactly.
Because a lot of locals will complain about the traffic, etc. But why bother complaining? We all like to go to the fair for our various reasons.
Right.
You might as well enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes we just want something to complain about.
It does,
That
yeah.
happens.
Do you know that when the Freiburg Fair comes to town, which is what, the first week of October,
Yep.
last week of September, depends on the calendar, Freiburg, Maine turns into the largest city in the largest populated area in the Maine.
Really?
Did you know that? Yeah, it swells to something like, I don't know, 60,000, something like that. I might be off on my numbers, but yeah, it swells that
Definitely
big.
believe that.
Yeah, yeah. So
wow.
I was like thinking that's kind of cool because even Portland, which is our biggest one, is only something like 36,000, and that's if you include the surrounding areas, not just Portland proper.
I always wanted to go to Chicken, Alaska. Have you ever heard about Chicken, Alaska?
I don't believe I have.
My
That's
ex-
like chicken pizza in Mexico.
No, my ex-wife, she went to Chicken, Alaska, when she was a teenager, and she regaled me with this great story. And I'm not sure if it's, well, as far as I know, she's credible. And she said that in Chicken, Alaska, when they were trying to figure out the town name, they wanted to call themselves Ptarmigan, which I believe is the state bird for Alaska.
Oh, yeah, I don't know the state, but it's definitely out there.
But the folks who were trying to decide the name, they couldn't quite figure out how to spell ptarmigan. They struggled with that.
There's a couple of silent letters in there, aren't there?
So they were like, well, we know how to spell chicken. And
that's how they settled on it?
As far as I know.
Wow. Okay, well, I don't know if I'm going to call bullshit on that one or not.
I'm going to go home tonight and I'm going to look it up just to see if it's true.
Yeah.
That might be like have you heard of the Argonaut in Freiburg?
The Argonaut?
Yes, there's an apartment building in Freiburg that has been called...
Argue yes.
No.
Argonaut.
Has been called the Argonaut.
Okay.
For 40 or 50 years. And I initially thought that it was a really poor depiction of the Argonaut.
Like Jason and the Argonaut deal. Yeah, okay.
No, actually, it turns out that the name stems from when they were trying to decide what to call the place after it was a cheese factory. It was to become a tavern/boarding house.
Okay.
And they proceeded to get into an argument about it, and they decided on, we will call it the Argonaut. No more arguing. And that's a true story.
So I was right on. Mm-hmm. It wasn't argue yes, it was argue not. Mm-hmm. Wow. Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, I think you're making that one up.
No, I wish I was.
Isn't it funny though how some people? It's not some people currently. It's some of our founders of the states and stuff are like, so what do you want to name the town? Mm-hmm. Well, we got Mexico and Norway and Denmark and where else? What else is on the map that we have?
Canada's got some very interesting names, which we'll mention on After Hours, but not right now. There's one town I definitely want to go to, but I
you can't even say it.
It's called, it's I don't know if I should say it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, it's called Dildo. There's a town called Dildo in Canada.
It's a valid name.
Yes. And I just thought that was fantastic. There's a lot of strange names.
There's some strange names, yeah.
I actually looked it up, and there's a listing online, but, there's multiple listings online that list the various strange names of towns. And actually, Maine's strangest town is part of a series of islands.
Okay.
It's called Burnt Porcupine.
Ow, that would
That's
smell.
the name of the island.
That would smell.
Well, I think that I'm not sure how that one came to be, but there's the Porcupine Islands.
So, they either have a lot of imagination or they have zero imagination.
It's Township 27.
How many, I actually think about I think Massachusetts might have even more than that. You know what? There's a cool field over there. Let's name it Field. Oh, wait, that's already taken. Brownfield, Springfield, Deerfield,
Otisfield?
Winterfield. I mean, all these, it's like, just putting a suffix on the end of something.
One of the most popular places to go in Brownfield is the rye field.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a very fun place for the kids to play and stuff. So.
Yes. But I think the biggest benefit or the best thing to remember, especially like right now, what is it, like, 150 below zero?
Something like that. Yeah.
You go outside and your face hurts and you're going, why do I live in a place where my face hurts?
Yeah, yeah. Your nose hair starts freezing up in your nose.
But then, you get in your car, you thaw out, you start to think sensibly again. You realize that, you live in a place year round where most people, or a lot of people, spend 50 or 51 weeks working their tails off.
Yep.
Just so they can come
Just to
here
come visit.
for a week, couple weeks.
Yep.
I mean, that says a lot about the area,
Yeah.
And what it has to offer. Because it's not just one thing, it's a variety.
I agree because, they always say if, sort of like if you love what you do for a job, you're never really working a day in your life, whatever. I'm totally paraphrasing that. But same thing about if you are living where you would vacation, you got it made.
Yeah.
I mean, we can go down to the lakes. We can go, we got how many lakes around us, that
So
we can
many.
go to. And we're within maybe 40 minutes of something like 7 ski resorts. And, I mean, not that we're either one of us are big outdoor, but
Not especially.
but it's still
The option is there.
option is there, right?
So.
Right, but I mean, think about how many golf courses we're near, and how many hiking, and there's actually a couple different even frisbee golf courses
There's
that
a
have
number of
popped
them,
up.
yeah.
Yep, and then besides, even the tourism stuff, and so. Awesome. All right. Well, for tonight, we'll sign off. But, it's always great to love where you live like we do. So awesome. All right. Well, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and have an adventurous day.
Bye.